You walk through the front door, and before you've even put your keys down, here he comes. Your golden retriever, thundering toward you, tail going like a helicopter, and clamped in his mouth is a single soggy sock, or a shoe, or the TV remote, or his oldest, most destroyed toy, and he drops it at your feet and looks up at you like he has just handed you the crown jewels. Most people laugh this off. Silly dog. He brought me a sock again, but it is not silly, and it is not random. What your golden is doing when he brings you things is one of the most deeply wired, genuinely ancient, and quietly loving behaviors in the entire dog world. And once you understand where it comes from, you will never look at that soggy sock the same way again. So let's talk about why your golden retriever keeps bringing you things. Start with the most obvious reason, the one hiding in his name. He is a retriever. For the better part of 2 centuries, golden retrievers were bred by humans to do one specific job: to go out, find a bird that a hunter had shot down, pick it up, and carry it all the way back without damaging it. That was the entire point of the breed: not to guard, not to herd, to fetch and to carry. And to do that job well, retrievers were bred for a remarkable, specialized trait that most owners have never heard of. It's called a soft mouth. A soft mouth is an almost unbelievable level of bite control. A well-bred retriever can pick up a raw egg and carry it across a garden and put it down again without cracking the shell. He can hold a wild bird in his jaws without leaving a single tooth mark. Think about the strength in a dog's bite, and then think about the control it takes to carry an egg. That is generations of selective breeding written directly into your dog's instincts. So when your golden picks up a sock and carries it to you, gently, he is not just being cute. He is doing the exact thing his ancestors were shaped over hundreds of years to do. Carrying soft objects in his mouth isn't a quirk. To him, it is a job. And bringing that object to a person is the finish line. Which brings us to the second question. Why does he do it right when you walk in? Because timing is everything, and the moment you come home is the most emotionally intense moment of his day. When that door opens, your dog's arousal, his excitement, his energy, spikes to the absolute top, and that surge of feeling has to go somewhere. For a retriever, the built-in release valve for big emotion is his mouth. He needs to hold something. So he grabs the nearest soft, available object, and because his breeding tells him that carrying leads to bringing, he brings it straight to you. That sock in his mouth at the front door is, quite literally, a downed bird from a hunt 300 years ago, repurposed into a way of saying hello. But here is where it gets deeper, because this behavior is far older than the golden retriever breed. It is older than any breed. It goes all the way back to the wolf. Long before dogs, wolves lived in tight family packs, and their entire survival depended on cooperation. And one of the ways a pack stays bonded is by sharing. Wolves bring food back to the den. A wolf mother carries prey home to her pups. Within the group, offering something valuable to another member is a signal. It says, I am with you, I trust you, we are family. Sharing resources is not a small thing to a wolf. It is the social glue that holds the whole pack together. Your golden retriever still runs on that ancient software. To him, you are not his owner. You are his pack. And bringing you something, carrying an object across the house and placing it in front of you, is him doing the single most pack-bonding thing he knows how to do. He is sharing with his family. Now, the third mystery. Why that sock? Why your shoe, specifically, and not the dozen dog toys lying around? Scent. Your dog lives in a world built out of smell, and the objects he chooses are almost never random. Very often, he goes for the thing that smells the most like you. Your socks, your shoes, a worn t-shirt. In his mind, that item is soaked in you. It is the most you-scented object he can find, and he wants to bring you to you, if that makes any sense. And other times, he brings you the opposite, his most precious, most slobbered-on, scent-covered toy, the thing that smells the most like him. Either way, the object is never junk. It is chosen. It is loaded with meaning he can smell, and you cannot. And that leads us to what this behavior actually is, at its heart. It is a gift. And giving a gift, for a dog, is not a small gesture. When your golden hands over a prized possession, especially his favorite toy, he is doing something that, in the language of dogs, means trust and respect and love. He is offering you the best thing he has. It is an invitation. It is a bond. And this part is real, not sentimental. When your dog brings you something and you respond warmly, when you smile and take it and make a fuss of him, both of you get a little chemical reward. Positive interaction between a dog and the person they love triggers a release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that flows between a parent and a child. So this little ritual, the sock at the door, is not just symbolic. It is physically strengthening the bond between the two of you every single time it happens. So one genuinely useful thing, because this matters. Whatever you do not punish this. Do not scold him for bringing you a shoe, and above all, do not chase him to grab it back. If you chase, you teach him one of two things. Either that this is a fantastic game of keep away, or worse, that objects need to be guarded from you. The behavior you want to protect is the one where he happily brings things and gives them up. So when he presents you with his soggy trophy, take it gently, tell him he's a good boy, and if it's your actual shoe, calmly trade him for something of his. Warm and easy, never a fight. And if the carrying ever tips into something anxious, obsessive hoarding, guarding, real distress if he can't hold something, that's worth a conversation with your vet or a behaviorist. But for the vast majority of Goldens, this is simply one of the sweetest things they do. Because here is what it all comes down to. The next time you walk in the door and your Golden comes barreling toward you with a ridiculous, slobbery sock in his mouth and drops it at your feet, stop for a second before you laugh. What you are actually looking at is hundreds of years of breeding and thousands of years of instinct, all firing at once to produce a single message. You are my family. This is the best thing I have, and I want you to have it. He didn't bring you a sock. He brought you everything he had. If your Golden does this, tell me in the comments what he brings you. I want to hear the weirdest ones. And subscribe, because there is so much more going on in that golden heart than anyone ever tells you. I'll see you in the next one.